Welcome to SDH's coverage of Match Week 6 in Major League Soccer. We'll go back and take a peek at all of your final scores and get some of the sound from the week that was and get you ready for the week that will be. Match Week 7 coming up here in a very short order on the 8th, wasting no time. Let's go backward before we go forward and take a peek at the scores as they broke everything down in Match Week 6. We'll get you your standings as well. On Saturday, April 1st, that's where all your action was. It was Atlanta over New York Red Bulls by the score of 1-0. The goal by Yorgi Shakamakis was the difference. Atlanta United full points at home against New York Red Bull. Cincinnati over Miami, Inter Miami by the score of 1-0. And the goal there for Cincinnati early on in your 7:30 starts came from Mosqueda at 45-5, and that's all that Cincinnati needed to knock off Inter Miami by the score of 1-0. Columbus beats RSL by the score of 4-0 at the Death Star at Lower.com Field. Later on, Wilfred Nancy, the head coach of the Crew, was asked after their win over RSL what he thought about the end result and getting full points. Here's his answer, courtesy of our friends at Massive Report.
Wilfred, with 10 goals in the last 2 games, you guys have set a record for the most goals in a 2-game span. What's making the attack so effective right now?
I would say that my players are confident. They know that we train every day to attack the box and to also control the momentum. But listen, this is not. I'm really proud of the fact that this is not only the forward. It could be also midfielders or fullback or wingback or everyone. So I'm really happy for that because the way we want to play. I like when everybody can score, and again, this is something that we repeat on the pitch. And for the moment, everything on the attack side is really important, is really good. So hopefully, it's going to keep going like this.
You guys have scored in second half stoppage time 2 games in a row now. What does it say to you about the team's mentality that they keep attacking all the way until the final whistle?
This is something that we, every day, in every way, we push the player for that, to control, to stay on the task all the time. And again, they've been really good on that in terms of don't think about the score, think about what we have to do offensively and defensively. And I'm happy also because this is, as you know, it was not easy to put that in place, and for a moment this is something that I would say they are aware of that and they want to do better. So I'm really happy because the more it's going to be difficult, the more we have to stay focused on the task and also to get a good emotional control, and they are able to do it for a moment.
Seattle Sounders over LA Galaxy by the score of 2-1 at Dignity Health Sports Park. That was the match that ended up in prime time on Big Fox. And for Seattle traditionally, very, very tough times when they go to Carson, California to try and get full points in the West. LA Galaxy still without some folks. They did get a couple of players back from international duty. Dejan Joveljic was part of that. Still no Chicharito for the LA Galaxy as they're trying to parse things through here in the early part of the season. Here's Brian Schmetzer after the match with the LA Galaxy getting full points courtesy of the Seattle Sounders, their own selves.
Yeah, well, any win on the road is a good one, Jeremiah. You know, as I was reflecting, as we as a coaching staff were reflecting on the team and the mentality of the team, you know, last year we came down here, we went down 0-2. We were down by 2 goals, and we came back. Kellen Rose scored a good goal. Raul scored an exceptional goal. Jordan put us ahead 3-2, and we lost on a penalty kick. You know, we drew 3-3 down here on a penalty kick. When Nuhu went out to block the cross and it kind of put his arms behind his back, I don't know what you guys saw on the TV feed. I haven't seen the TV feed. I thought it was going to be deja vu. I thought we were going to, end up 2-2. But credit to, Steph Fry having a monster performance. lots of guys stepping up defensively, blocking shots. We were able to close the game out.
Masvidal, go ahead.
Yeah, Brian, I got to ask you, I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but we got to do our job. Just have you given a moment to say no?
I've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of good players, a lot of good coaches helping me. Maz, thank you for asking. I appreciate you and everybody else that has forwarded on well wishes. I am honored to be in, Bruce and Bob's category and Oscar, but I've had a lot of help. So thank you.
All right. Can I ask a game question?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go back to the game. That's what's most important.
Right on cue, Coach. So in the second half, did they do anything different in terms of?
No, we stopped playing, Maz. We stopped playing. We could have played better. We literally Taylor two halves. That's kind of cliche. I don't know what it is. We got to really digest the film because it just seemed like we stopped possessing the ball. We just couldn't get out of our half. And look, you do credit the Galaxy and Greg. He made some adjustments, brought the second forward on at halftime. So we'll digest all of that. But I believe it was more our team not being able to, sustain possession. And look, even if we didn't sustain possession, Raul could have made it 3-1. We could have, Josh had it, we had some chances to make it 3-1 again. But, nobody's going to care, Moss, what happened with the tactics 6 months from now. We just know it's 3 points.
Goal by Jordan Morris and Leo Chu, about 14 minutes apart, gave Seattle the 2-0 lead. And then a goal by Neal in the 63rd closed the margin to 2-1, but that's how it would finish. New England Revolution NYC end up in a 1-1 draw. Nashville SC over Orlando by the score of 2-0 at Exploria. Philadelphia and Sporting Kansas City in a goalless draw. Toronto and Charlotte finish in a 2-2 draw at BMO Field. Here's your equalizer, courtesy of Kamil Jozwiak. And the call, courtesy of our friends at Willie P. Style, Will Pelagic and Jessica Charman, and our friends at WFNZ and Major League Soccer.
Far side play to Vargas near the touchline. Vargas trying to cross it in, looking for Jozwiak. He scores! Kamil Jozwiak with his first MLS goal! And the equalizer for Charlotte here in the second half in Toronto!
No player this season has deserved a goal more than Kamil Jozwiak. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for his hard work to be rewarded. We all have. And he deserves it so much. Soccer cliches. 2-0, the most dangerous scoreline in soccer. Well, here you have it. The comeback is fantastic. Kerwin Vargas with the trickery. The delivery is amazing. The run, again, is fantastic. The timing of the run, the slide and the finish. This is not an easy finish for Kamil Jozwiak in any shape or form. He gets the connection to loop it over Sean Johnson. 2 goals with fantastic timed runs and fantastic deliveries. Kamil Jozwiak with a goal and an assist and a game to remember for the Polishman.
I don't know if we've seen 2 higher degree of difficulty goals when Charlotte FC have needed them the most than we've seen in the space of time in the last 20 minutes for Charlotte FC.
Shared result there. Shared result with Chicago and D.C. Goalless draw. Dallas and Portland a 1-1 draw at Toyota Stadium. Goals in that match for FC Dallas and for Portland Timbers. It was Guignon with the goal in the 74th, and then it was Boley with Portland at 90+2, so basically right at the death. Dallas had the lead going into the 90th minute and beyond, but Portland scores. Shared result in a 1-1 draw with Dallas and Portland. Minnesota United gets the win over St. Louis by the score of 1-0. St. Louis's unbeaten run, their winning streak is snapped at 5, first loss of the year, as they lose at 1-0. Colorado Rapids and LAFC finish in a goalless draw at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. San Jose at home, your 2 West Coast games. San Jose gets the win 2-1 over Houston Dynamo at PayPal Park. Your goals in this one, It was Espinoza with 2 PKs in the 7th and the 65th, and Basel with a PK of his own. So all 3 goals in the match on PKs. Basel splits the 2 San Jose PKs, so San Jose 1-0 lead, tied at 1 going to break. Another PK in the 65th, San Jose gets the win by the score of 2-1. And then your last match on the run, big result for Vancouver, shutting out Montreal by the score of 5-0 at BC Place. Did not have that one on the scorecard. And you end up with goals from White, a brace from Simon Becher in the 43rd and the 59th. Julian Gressel gets one in the 45th, and Ali Ahmed in the 48th. So very, very busy first 60 minutes of football for Vancouver. And Becher was named player of the match day. No real surprise, being called up from Whitecaps too. Getting the brace, Vancouver puts 5 in the back of the net. And also the Camacho red card in the 23rd minute did not help matters. Montreal having to fight uphill all day. Vancouver puts 5 in the net against 10-man CF Montreal. Vanni Sartini after the match discussing the win over Montreal, courtesy of the province, post-match, and Major League Soccer.
Vanni, what's the feeling like after a decisive victory like that one?
Well, very happy because today is your last day before going in maternity leave. So, yeah, we wanted to close this period for you with a 5-0, and no, I'm very, very, very happy. I think to be honest, the differences between today and the other games that we scored the goals, and I'm going to anticipate your question. Nobody says that we won because there were 10 men, because it's not true. We won because we played much better than them. Stop. And even if there were 12, we would have won. So that's the thing. And that's I'm very happy. Yeah.
You had both Ali and Simon making their first MLS starts. What did you think of their performances and the fact that they kind
did
of
very well? Ali took a little while to enter in the game physiologically, because if you fast, it's doing Ramadan, so he was eating right at the beginning of the game in order to get energy to go. And so it took the first 10-12 minutes was a little off, and then actually that play when he caused the first yellow card basically put him in the game. Simon did what we expected him to do. Very good in the box, fighting, doing very good things when he had to take less than 2 touches, being a little bit in confusion when he has to do more than 2 touches. And I think he made an assist, a goal and a half, because maybe it's an own goal. I don't know the second goal. Yeah, so I think we can be satisfied.
obviously a huge offensive performance from your side, but
Yeah.
what about the defense as well? You've talked about how you needed to get your first clean sheet here.
Yes.
It wasn't just a clean sheet; it was 0 shots on target for Montreal.
Yeah. Again, I think that we played much better than them. Even the first 30 minutes, we had all this eagerness to try to have a nice night after 3-4 games where we play well, but we were always meh at the end of the game. So it's clear that the thing that I'm very beautiful. The thing that I'm very proud, it's that we kept the ball for a lot in the second half, and we didn't concede anything, even if we were up in the scores, and we kept working like in the way that we had to work. So I'm really, really happy.
I think this is the kind of performance we knew this team was capable of, and it was just a case of everything falling into place. What do you think the main difference was tonight with the taking of the chances? Is it too simple to put it down to exuberance of youth?
A little bit. And also, when Julian came off, he told me, today the bounces went to us instead of going a meters wide or a meters. So that's so everything went well today. So that's and again, probably the fact that we played these 2 young guys that they wanted to break the world when they played helped. And I think I'm very happy that Brian scored the first goal. So I think, everything went perfectly, yes.
With Brian playing that deeper role behind Simon, it seems to bring the best out of him. Does having a player with Simon's skill set as well help bring the best out of Brian?
Yes, I think that. So, to be honest, I think in our team is, I don't want to say easier, but you have more chance to score if you play as one of the 210 than the number 9 for the way that we play, because the number 9 needs a lot to link up, come to the ball, and then attack in the space. So you have more chance to be decisive if you're playing well and you play in that role, decisive in terms of shooting at goal. And Brian can do that role. Brian can do both the roles, and we're very lucky because today we didn't play Daho and Gold, and Sergio is injured. So two of our offensive player DPs were on the bench, and on the bench. One was not available, one was on the bench, and so it was really good to see that everyone can bring their contribution, and we go from there.
So that gets us into the standings after match week number 6 in the Eastern Conference. Cincinnati at 14 points, 4-0-2. Atlanta United 13 points at 4-1-1. Goal difference is at +4 over New England, who has goal difference of +2. Columbus and Nashville 4th and 5th at 10 points each. NYC and Orlando at 8 points each after their first 6 matches, 2-2-2 across the board. And it comes down to goals scored, 6-5 right now for NYC. So 1 goal scored means that they're in 6th and Orlando's in 7th. Philadelphia is in 8th place with 7 points with 2 wins on the year and a goal difference of 0, 8 scored, 8 allowed. Toronto is in 9th right now, 1-1-4, getting it the hard way. 7 points there in 9th. Inter Miami below the playoff bar right now. They are at 6 points in 6 matches at 2-4. Chicago at 6 matches. They are at a 0 in goal difference. And Red Bull are at 6 points. They are at goal difference of -1. DC United's at 5 points. They're in 13th with a goal difference of -3. Charlotte FC is at 5 points, goal difference -5. Montreal, with the 5 that they allowed in their 5 matches so far, 3 points, goal difference of -9. 12 goals allowed so far this season, and they are 0-4 away from home and Stade Saputo. Western Conference, St. Louis still at 15 points with the 1 loss, still a 2-point margin now on Seattle after 6 matches at 13 points. LAFC, 5 matches played, same with Minnesota United. They both have 11 points. Goal difference to LAFC. 5th place to San Jose at 10 points. FC Dallas is at 8 points. They are in 6th. Austin FC is at 7 points in 7th. Houston Dynamo at 2 and 3 in 8th with 6 points. Same with Vancouver at 6 points. Goal difference at -2 to 3. And the points per game average for Houston, 5 matches played, 6 points. Vancouver's played 6 matches and gotten 6 points. Below the playoff bar, it is Portland at 5 points. RSL, LAG, and Sporting Kansas City and Colorado, each with 3 points. Salt Lake, RSL with the 1 win on the year. LA with the per match average of 0.6 ahead of 0.5 for Sporting and Colorado Rapids. And it is goal difference with Sporting leading Colorado -5 to -6. That's your standings. Getting into the schedule for the upcoming week. Open Cup in the midweek, and so keep an eye on your favorite clubs and how they line up in midweek if they are keeping an eye on things, if they have anything going on in the midweek. Right now it is USL Championship and below that are dialed up in Open Cup for Tuesday, Wednesday, and 1 match on Thursday. Getting into Saturday, that's where all of your games are for Major League Soccer, starting off at 7:30, so there's no afternoon games in Major League Soccer for Saturday, April the 8th. It is DC United, Columbus Crew. Right now, juice boxes have kind of thrown a blanket over the whole thing. They're within the margin of error. DC United's a +164. Draws a +244 and Crew's a +159. FC Cincinnati, a favorite at home at TQL against Philadelphia Union. FC Cincinnati a +134. The Union are a +199. Your draw's a plus 238. Inter Miami hosting FCD. Inter Miami's a favorite at a plus 133. FC Dallas is a plus 202. LAFC hosting Austin FC, so it's a late afternoon kick at BMO Stadium. LAFC big favorite at a minus 185. Austin FC north of plus 450. Revs hosting CF Montreal. Revs are a minus 104. Your draw and CF Montreal both around plus 265. NYC is hosting Atlanta United. NYC's at a minus 109. Atlanta United a plus 282. Your draw's a plus 269. Red Bull hosting San Jose at 7:30 at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. Red Bull's a minus 139. Draws a plus 281. San Jose is a plus 370. 8:30 kick. Chicago hosting Minnesota United at a minus 118. Minnesota United north of plus 300. Houston Dynamo hosting LAG. They're a favorite at a plus 144. Galaxy are a plus 184. Your draw's a plus 237. Nashville hosting Toronto FC. Nashville is a minus 167. Your draw's a plus 311. Toronto FC is a plus 429. Sporting Kansas City hosting Colorado Rapids at a minus 118. Rapids are north of plus 300. Your draw's a plus 275. 9:30, RSL hosting Charlotte. Road trip continues for the Crown. RSL at Rio Tinto, a minus 103. Your draw's a plus 267. Charlotte to win, not too far behind that at a plus 260. 10:32 starts. Seattle hosting St. Louis City SC. Seattle's at a minus 145. St. Louis City is a plus 350. Your draw's a plus 309. Vancouver Whitecaps a minus 112. Your draw's a plus 275. And the Timbers are a plus 283. So that gets us through Saturday, April the 8th, and match week number 7 or 6, depending on who your favorite club is at the moment. And we will keep an eye on all of those. That's your rundown. MLS in the week in review. We'll be back at it again this time, same time next week, to kind of go through match day 6/7 for your favorite club. For everybody here at SDH, played safe, everybody. Enjoy the games in Major League Soccer. We'll catch up with you next week.